What is going on, Pats Nation? It's Patriots Global here, back with another video, and in this one, we're going to shy a little bit away from doing the mock drafts in this video because we've done a lot of those lately on the channel. So if you do want to check those out, you are more than welcome. We've done some with trades and some without trades, but in this one, we're going to be talking about a little bit of draft news involving the Pats. That being that reports have come out that the Patriots have stayed in contact with quarterback Kellon Mond, quarterback from Texas A&M, who is going to be heading into the 2021 draft in just a couple of weeks. More specifically, the Patriots offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels, has really stayed in touch with him. So this is coming from Jim McBride from the Boston Globe, for anybody who's wondering who the source is. But the Patriots actually did meet with Kellon Mond back in January, and it's being said that ever since January, they have just continued to have talks with him. And it was actually reported that the way that they stayed in contact since January, interestingly enough, has been through text message. Now, in addition to all of this, Kellon Mond is actually expected to have an official pre-visit with the New England Patriots. Obviously, in today's world with the whole pandemic and whatnot, things are a little shaken up when it comes to an official visit compared to what they used to be back in the day. Nowadays, it is virtually, it's not in person where, a few years ago, before the whole virus and whatnot, Kellon Mond would come to Foxborough and, tour Gillette Stadium and whatnot, but now it's about an hour-long virtual meeting, again, rather than him going to Gillette Stadium. Now, if this is true, if this is to happen, it says a lot. And it says a lot only because from what we know, underline that right now, from what we know, what has been reported, the Patriots have not had an official visit with any other player as of right now. So again, if they do that with Kellon Mond, he would be the first reported player the Patriots have had that first official visit with. Now, do I think Kellon Mond makes the most sense for the New England Patriots? No, I do not. I think Kellon Mond, though, is probably the sixth best quarterback, in the open market. That's my own personal opinion. It would obviously go the first five quarterbacks, and then for me would go Kellon Mond. So if the Patriots do miss out on the top five quarterbacks, they don't want to trade up, they don't like the guys who fall to them, then maybe Kellon Mond is an option. I've heard people say, hey, Pats Global, what do you think about trading down, later into like the late 20s or mid 20s and then drafting Kellon Mond? And I'm like, no. You don't draft Kellon Mond in the first round unless for the next couple of weeks somehow he just skyrockets, okay? Kellon Mond is not a first round pick. I've heard that he can go anywhere between the second and third round, and while doing these mock drafts on simulators, I have seen him go anywhere between the second and third, but you do not select him in the first. He's not a first round quarterback. To me, there's five guys you take in the first, and that is obviously Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, and Justin Fields. In my own personal opinion, I don't think that this should be the Patriots' first option. I think, again, they should look to trade to get one of these top five quarterbacks. I think that should be the future. That should be the route that they go. I know they've contacted the Falcons and the Bengals about the number 4 overall pick and the number 5 overall pick. But again, if somehow they can't land one of those guys, then, okay, you can take a chance on Mond. And I think that if the Patriots don't get one of these top five quarterbacks, then Kellon Mond easily is going to be a name that you want to watch. And he's also someone that I think would fit well into the Patriots system. I think that, again, one of these top five quarterbacks would be better from a talent standpoint. But if you're going to the second to third round and you still need a quarterback, I think that he is your best option out of any other guy, again, outside of these top five. Fits the Patriots scheme very well, or pretty well, and their system has a good NFL size, pretty decent arm strength, pretty good at, taking care of the ball. And he did operate at a pro-style level offense with Texas A&M. I do know that they met with Mond. I don't remember if it was at the Senior Bowl or after the Senior Bowl, but he showed out really, really well when he did perform at the Senior Bowl. He actually won game MVP, and his pro day, he was viewed by many draft experts as the top quarterback outside, again, that first elite group, out of that top 5 quarterbacks, which, again, that's my opinion too. I completely agree with that. Something else that I do like about Mond that me personally I have concerns about when it comes to somebody like a Trey Lance is that Mond was a 4-year starter. And during those 4 years, he posted a pretty good record. He posted a 46-14 record, which included a 9-1 senior season that saw Texas A&M just narrowly miss the college football playoffs. One of the big things you'll probably hear about Kellon Mond is consistency, so that's going to be something to watch, but when also kind of doing my research on him, I did see that a big part of that was constant head coaches just kind of coming in and out, and just that scheme and the offensive playbook changing, which I think is enough for anybody to do bad. I mean, you look at the weapons, or you look at the head coaching constantly coming in and out, that's a huge factor. I mean, for example, if you want to look at the Jets, they just constantly had guys coming in and out with that system while Sam Darnold was there, and a lot of people put that back on Sam Darnold, and now that Sam Darnold is traded to the Panthers, I think with some consistency, with better weapons, people will see a much improved version of Sam Darnold. So, I don't put too much of that back on Mond. So while doing my research on him, I did come across his page on the NFL.com, kind of just giving a pre-draft analysis on him, which would just help give kind of an insight onto him when we obviously don't have a real offseason with the draft as we're used to. They did give him an NFL comparison of Colin Kaepernick, so that's interesting. Like I said, I do think he can be a good quarterback in this league. Will he be Colin Kaepernick? I don't know about that, but we'll just have to see. So the strengths that the NFL.com has for him is that he was a 4-year starter with growing confidence, improved his game management and ball placement in 2020, touchdown to interception ratio jumped from 2-1 to 6-1 in 2020. He's become a willing pocket passer who trusts his protection. That's something that, of course, I think would be, perfectly fine in New England, as they'll have a top offensive line. Delivers most throws from a balanced platform. Alters arm slot to deliver ball around bodies and arms. Quick wrist flick release generates tight spiral. They say he's relatively accurate throwing on the move. Accuracy with Mond is probably one of the bigger concerns I have. If you know me, I want a quarterback who is able to be a pocket passer, who we can rely on to be a pass-first quarterback. And that's my concern with Trey Lance. And a lot of people got on me for that, but it's a concern, and I'm going to stick by that until he proves different. While it's great to have huge arm strength, that doesn't matter if you can't place the ball where it needs to be, if you cannot lead a receiver, because ultimately you're not going to place the ball where it needs to go and your offense isn't going to move. I don't want a quarterback who's just going to choose to scramble 24/7. Maybe last year that worked with the Cam Newton when we had no options, no receivers, but now we're putting so much money and stock into these Patriots receivers at tight end and wide receiver, even running back, that I want a pocket passer to come in and help these guys succeed. Let's utilize these guys that we're paying, not just have a quarterback run the ball 70% of the time during games. They also say that he's a dangerous red zone option. I think between his passing ability and him being able to scramble, that's probably why. They also say that he's able to break the pocket and move the sticks with his scrambles, which I kind of just touched on a few seconds ago. His weaknesses that they have is that deep throws are often flat and overthrown, so it doesn't look like he's great when it comes to down the field throws. Highly inconsistent in working with anticipation. Doesn't consistently make defenses pay for coverage mistakes. Shies away from big play opportunities to take shorter throws. I think that's going to turn some people off. Will miss late safety movement indicating incoming blitzes. Defaults to aiming rather than throwing at times. Just average attacking high-low route concepts. Inaccuracy and indecisiveness came to ugly heads against LSU. And he completed just 35% of his intermediate throws outside of the numbers in 2020. So overall, probably your biggest concerns with Kellon Mond is going to come with inconsistency and his ability to be accurate. I think some of these things are definitely going to be able to be taught. I think he has some things that you can't teach. That accuracy is just definitely going to be a concern with me. I'm not taking him in the first round. The soonest I take him is the second round. If a team is to take him in the first, great, good for them. Have fun, because I think you're reached a little. But at 6'3", 205 pounds, not a bad size for a running back. Or not a running back, we're not talking about Lamar Jackson here, for a quarterback. And the NFL.com also has Kellon Mond graded as a 6.12. Ultimately, what that means under their spectrum is that they believe he will be at least a very good backup who has the ability to potentially become a starter. Before we end this one off, though, I do want to talk about the sponsors of this video, BetOnline. Now, BetOnline has the fastest and easiest ways to bet on all of your sports action. Football might be over, but NBA, college basketball, and the NHL are still in full swing. BetOnline even covers awards, TV shows, and reality TV. They also have real-time updated odds and props on almost anything you can imagine, and BetOnline has you covered for all of the news, scores, and odds, and it is the best way to place your bets, and it's completely free to sign up. All you guys got to do is head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't sit on the sidelines anymore. Get in with the action, and don't forget to use that promo code CLNS50 to receive a 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. This is BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. I really appreciate you guys for watching this video. Obviously, the Patriots are keeping an eye on Kellon Mond. I do still hope that they can land one of these top 5 quarterbacks, but if we reach mid-second round or whatnot, third round, I'd be okay with selecting Kellon Mond, but definitely not right in the beginning of the second, and definitely not in the first. What are your guys' thoughts on this, though? Again, let me know in the comment section below. I appreciate you guys for watching this. Like always, I'll catch you in the next video, and go Pats.